You? Is anybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends the Goldbergs are here. Brought to you by Does, the new kind of soap for everything in your wash. First, let's drop in on the Dozen family. Pa just got home. He looks upset.
Ma Dozen, what on earth were you talking so long on the phone about?
Why, I was telling Miss Avery about Doug.
Well, I've been trying to get you for a half hour.
I'm sorry, Pa. I was just telling her what a wonderful new kind of soap Does is and how it does everything in my wash.
What a half hour, Ma.
Well, we was talking about how does your overalls and work shirts and my towels, you know, and even Daisy's pretty rayon undies, just everything.
Why didn't you invite Miss Avery over to tell her instead of tying up the phone when I'm trying to get you?
Honestly, Pa, it didn't seem long at all. I got to telling her how easy Does gets even your dirtiest work shirts clean. I told her there's no hard scrubbing. Why, you don't even need a bar soap anymore because Does gets rid of grimy dirt all by itself.
And here I am getting a busy signal all the time.
Well, she was fussing about her towels, Pa, and I had to explain no soap I ever used got towels and linens whiter'n Does. Naturally, I felt obliged to tell her that Does is actually safer for pretty rayon slips and the other nice colors I wash. Why, I said Does really gives longer life to colors, you know. Yet you can't beat it for getting out tough dirt. But if I'd known you were trying to phone me, Pa, I'd have hung right up.
Would you, Ma?
Certainly. What'd you phone about?
Oh, to tell you I was coming home, Ma.
Well, now that Pa's home, I guess I can butt in to say, compared to other leading granulated wash day soaps, Does gives longer life to colors, plus unsurpassed whiteness and real cleaning power for the tough dirt. Try Does, D-U-Z. It does everything in the wash. And now the Goldbergs. Well, Molly Goldberg didn't take the surprise of the two people in her house as something to be wept over. No, when she learned what George and Grace were, Molly's reaction, unlike Jake's, was not to punish, but rather to change them. And so Molly started. Yes, she started by giving George a chance. In so doing, Molly had to invent a little campaign in the village to cover up Jake's calling on the constable. So now Molly has enrolled the constable who came to arrest George in the campaign. And things are just starting. Listen.
Mama, darling, why did you start? Papa's going down to Constable Newton and tell him that everything you said to him about delinquency and delinquents was only to prevent him from arresting George. Ma, you better stop Papa before he goes.
Get the telephone.
Of course again, Ma. I suppose everybody in town must know that you want to raise money for a recreation center for the boys and girls.
Talk. Don't you hear the phone?
I'm not going to answer it, Ma. I'm not. I won't know what to say.
Then let me. Wouldn't know what to say. Where's George?
He's on the porch.
Go out to him.
All right.
Hello?
Hello.
This is the Goldbergs' residence. Who is this?
This is Margaret Mulvaney. I don't think you know me, but bless your heart for what you and George Stevens are trying to do for our youngsters. May the blessed saints look after you all the days of your life.
Yeah.
I've got some money set aside for fixing up my teeth this winter, but I'm going to send it to you. Or shall I send it to the young man, George?
Well, Mrs. Mulvaney, I will let you know.
Thank you, and may the light of heaven shine upon you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Another telephone? What are you stirring, Molly? What are you stirring, Molly?
Jake, dear, abide with me.
Molly,
Jake.
there is a limit.
No, darling. To bad, there's a limit. To good things, there's no limit, Jake.
After what these people did to us, you are turning the other cheek?
Ma.
This is the first time I ever saw a man cry.
George is crying?
He should cry. For what he did to us, he should cry.
He's not crying for what he did to us, but for what Mama did for him.
This would be a fine world indeed if we permitted scoundrels to run free.
Papa, darling, you don't know what...
Don't talk to me about environment. Was it only environment that brought two people into my home to exploit my hospitality? To pose as the wife of my son?
They came, Jake, darling. I know they came with no good intentions.
The king likes scavengers.
Yes, darling. Scavengers and everything you say, darling. What they did, Jake, darling, I'm saying is very bad.
Bad? Is that the worst word you have for it?
Wouldn't it be a great satisfaction, Jake, darling, to know that when these two people go forth, they'll never do another bad thing again, Jake?
How can you be so sure?
Because I have faith in humanity.
These people aren't human.
They are, Jake, darling. They are human. Did George have to come back? He and Grace were on their way away from here. Why did he come back? He came back to confess. He came back to tell me the truth.
Then forgive him, not her.
There's hope for her too, Jake, darling.
Again?
Let me, darling, sweetheart. Let me, my dear Jake. Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Goldberg?
Yes?
This is Mary Foote.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Constable Newton told me about the wonderful idea you had to raise money to help prevent delinquency.
Yes, Mary.
Well, I think it's wonderful. Where shall I send my check, and who shall I make it out to?
Well, just 1 minute, Mary, dear. Will you please talk to Mr. Goldberg, because he's the chairman of the idea.
What idea?
Just a minute, dear. Speak to Mary for Jake, darling. Here, dear.
Hello?
Mr. Goldberg.
Yes?
This idea to raise money and have an affair to show the people of Glastonbury how grave the delinquent problem is, well, I just had to call you. It's something I've been watching. We women would just sit around and wring our hands and say how terrible. But this now this is really doing something about it. It was right smart thing.
Well, something has to be done.
It took a man like you to do it.
Thank you very much.
Oh, don't thank me. I'm grateful there are people in the world like you.
Well,
My check will be in the mail tomorrow.
thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What did Mary Foote say, Jake?
Nothing.
She liked the idea of the delinquent idea or not, Jake?
Am I objecting to the idea of establishing delinquency, or am I...
Aren't all children big or small or medium?
Tell George I want him.
Rosalie, tell George Papa dear wants him.
All right, Mom.
Jake, dear. Isn't it a wonderful thing to have it in your power to do something for somebody, Jake, darling? To have it in your power to bring a smile where there was a tear. Jake, darling, that's a privilege, Jake. George? Come in, George. Jake. George, Mr.
Before you people say anything, I just want to say that, well, I just want you to know you just gave me my life back. Oh, it wasn't much of a life, but it was mine and all that I had. I guess I didn't realize how far I had gone. I guess Grace didn't either. There we were, dead broke, stuck, and she hated everybody, and so did I. We just felt we never had a chance and never would get one. We were married, and it looked like we were just going to hang around being nothing till the day we died. Now it's different. I guess it's way different. You know, I feel different. Everything looks different. We just kind of fell into that other life. Grace and I, well, we met Sammy. And we thought his father owning a mill, and, well, Grace decided to pretend she was Sammy's wife. The rest you know.
Why didn't you better hit me over the head than do what you did?
That's me. Hello?
Mrs. Goldberg, this is Constable Newton talking.
Oh, yes, Constable.
Is George Stevens there?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to talk to him, please.
Well, Mr. Newton, you...
I said I'd like to talk to him, please.
Oh, you like to talk to him?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Don't hang. Hold. Hold. The constable, Mr. Newton. For you, George.
The constable wants to talk to me?
Yes, George.
Well, he
Here,
isn't...
talk. See.
All right. Hello?
George Stevens?
Yes, sir?
I'd like to see you down in my office, George.
Yes, sir.
I'll be waiting for you.
Well, is anything...
Well, I'm a pretty busy man, George, and I won't be able to handle this delinquency committee that Mrs. Goldberg spoke to me about. There's the affairs to raise money and so on, and And I feel the work is serious and necessary.
What did you
I
say?
need somebody to help me. And I thought you might be willing to be the chairman of the finance committee.
No.
The finance committee?
Yes. Can I count on you, George? You see, I feel that you inspired the idea. That's why I told everybody to make the check out to you. Now, this George Stevens, is that the E-N-S or A-N-S?
Stevens. S-T-E-V-E-N-S.
That's what I told him.
What's your
You'll
nest?
be quite a hero to these youngsters, George, when they know what you're trying to do for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so get down here as soon as you can, will you, George? Goodbye.
All right. Goodbye.
Well,
Now I'm a hero.
why not, George? Heroes are like criminals. Are made, not born.
But George feels that he's on a merry-go-round. However, that's Molly's morale system. She can give anyone a whirl into the right world. And from then on, they're on their own.